Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and today in Wide Angle with Ashok Vyas, we'll be talking about an event, so to say, election of Congress president, and it's a sort of a historical situation that now Congress has formally a president who is not a Gandhi, and people have waited for it for long time. There have been so many discussions, and for the final race with Mallikarjun Kharge, who deserves to be congratulated for becoming Congress president. Shashi Tharoor was also there. Um, what are the impact and implications of this development for Congress? And is there any larger significance of this development for India's politics? I have the pleasure of welcoming someone who has enlightened his readers through his columns and is also author of books. Joining from New Delhi, Dr. Sudhir Bisht. Dr. Sir, welcome. Sudhir ji, how are you?
Namaskar, sir. I'm good. Thank you for inviting me again.
So let's begin. Was it a surprise for you, the result, Mallikarjun Kharge becoming president?
Not at all. Not at all. It was on expected lines. But yes, I think we need to compliment Shashi Tharoor, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, for garnering more than 1,000 votes. This signifies that Tharoor is popular. He's popular among congressmen.
So what
And
you
my
are hiding
compliments.
is, okay, sorry, Sudhir, what you are hiding is the number of votes which Kharge got.
If you see the previous presidential polls, see, first of all, there have been no polls for the last 24 years. It has been the Congress presidency was with Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, interspread with, a brief reign of Shri Rahul Gandhi. So, first of all, the elections were held, and Shashi Tharoor gave a spirited fight because prior to that, you recall when Narasimha Rao ji was the Prime Minister of India, and he held the position of Prime Minister of India and Congress President. And at that time, if you will recall, there were the elections to Congress Working Committee, and Arjun Singh camps. Sorry, I'm taking you a bit back in history, but it's necessary to tell you about the intrigues of Congress Party. So Arjun Singh was in a different camp. Arjun Singh camp was able to get a lot of members elected into CWC. That rattled Narasimha Rao ji, and he next day all resigned. And then the president, which was Narasimha Rao, he appointed SCWC. He appointed all the members of Congress Working Committee. So at least we thank God there were elections, and I think Shashi Tharoor gave a run for money to Khadge. Had Khadge ji not been blessed by the High Command, perhaps Shashi Tharoor would have won.
Okay, here
That
I
is my
would like to, yeah, here I would like to disagree with you, and that's why I asked you how many votes did he get, and so that our viewers will get an idea if they have not followed it. The gap is quite huge. So when
right.
you say that you want to congratulate Shashi Tharoor, I kind of do not do not see it that way, because like out of, so say 9,000 delegates probably voted, so this gentleman gets 1,000 something and the other gets 7,000 plus votes. So it's a huge gap. So there is no, I mean, I don't know whether Shashi Tharoor can respectfully walk, considering that he's so popular and he did a lot of spirited campaign.
See, you have to see what were the odds which were stacked against Shashi Tharoor. First of all, Shashi Tharoor is considered to be an elitist, you know, and you see the paradox when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was nominated by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Bapuji,
Gee.
to the presidency of Congress, and then he became the Prime Minister of India. What did Gandhi ji say? Our respected Bapu said, ये सबसे बड़ा अंग्रेज है. So Nehru ji got elected or nominated by Gandhi ji because at that time most people had voted for Sardar Patel, but Gandhi ji went on a he went in a Cope Bhavan, and sorry to use this words, but I'm very I'm not economical with truth. So Panditji was elected.
I like
Panditji was
that
elected.
expression,
So
yeah.
so what did Gandhi ji say? He says ये हम में सबसे बड़ा अंग्रेज है ना? So for his अंग्रेजियत and for his elitism, Panditji was elected. Uh, may, I mean, Om Shanti to Panditji. Now, for the elitism, Shashi Tharoor has been defeated. I want to tell you, Ashok ji, we have to give credit to Narendra Damodar Das Modi, that anybody who has any inkling or an iota of suspicion of being a Khan Market gang is not getting elected. See, the narrative of the country has changed. We want a desi guy, a hardworking guy, a guy from, he may be 80, huh? He may be 79, 80. But may
So
God give.
you remind me of Congress statement, or actually Kharge himself, uh, taking credit for victory of Modi ji, that because Congress maintained the kind of democracy that there is in India, so you became prime minister. So then he responded in his own unique way. But let me read out the tweet of Narendra Damodar Das Modi ji, complimenting Kharge ji. He says, "My best wishes to Sri Mallikarjun Kharge ji for his new responsibility as president of INC India. May he have a fruitful tenure ahead." Ahead. So, I mean, there is a sort of I don't know. I mean, is he sincere, or he's somewhere having fun saying that
you know
fruitful tenure? The
you know
use
i,
of
I have the
yeah.
I have the privilege, and so I can say I have the privilege of studying some of the stalwarts of Indian politics very minutely. I can proudly say that I have minutely and extensively studied Jayaprakash Narayan ji, Acharya Vinoba Bhave, Deen Dayal ji, and Narendra Bhai Modi. He doesn't mean to disrespect him. He's not trying to slime him, or he's not trying to belittle him. He's genuinely wishing him. He's genuinely wishing him. You see, India is very blessed. Please forgive me for saying this again and again. The man has no competition, so he has no business to slime anyone. He's truly, genuinely wishing him. And Khadge is 80 years of age, and in Indian culture, if somebody is senior, I mean, he's a dyed in wool Indian, so he's complimenting him. I don't think he's casting a snide remark or anything. Yes, but if Khadgeji thinks that he has won because of his magnetism and persona and his varied characteristics, then Khadgeji is Khadgeji. I wish him all the best. He is won because people were told not to vote for Shashi Tharoor.
Actually,
This is
they didn't. Yeah, allow me to mention
yes,
some states he went to campaign for. The Congress members were not even willing to meet Shashi Tharoor. So,
that is
and
true.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, but he kind of, as you mentioned, it was a spirited sort of exercise for him. And he says,
Yes,
whether I lose or win, it'll be the victory of Congress. And let
right.
me read his remarks, or his message to Mr. Khadge, call or on our new president-elect Mallikarjun Kharge to congratulate him and offer him my full cooperation. Congress has been strengthened by our contest. This is how he is looking at it. And then he has actually also thanked Gandhi family for creating conducive environment for free elections. Uh, how Before we go further, let's look at Shashi Tharoor's approach towards this whole presidential race.
See, if you see Ashokji, if you see Shashi Tharoor, apart from that minor blip, the death of Sunanda Pushkar, he has an unblemished record. See, now and then he shows his elitism by he said that cattle class, all the people traveling in economy class are cattle class. So he may have committed some faux pas, but you can't take away from him that the guy is basically he believes in spirited campaign. He's a hardworking guy, and the guy has got the gall to take on establishment. So, but the problem with Shashi Tharoor is Shashi Tharoor started speaking Hindi very late. Let me tell you, Shashi Tharoor learned all his Hindi in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, when everybody started talking about presidency, he started to harbor an ambition of being a Congress president. And in 2 years, he has, believe you me, he has half mastered Hindi. He's a very brilliant man. And today
So,
he speaks Hindi better than Mallikarjun Khadge, much better than. So he
So when
will
you are
be
comparing with Kharge,
he
yeah,
will be a force to
sorry, sorry.
reckon with. He will be a force to reckon with within Congress and outside Congress. Shashi Tharoor is respected. He is respected for his patriotism. Don't forget, don't forget that even though he is not in BJP, his sense of nationalism, and some people call it hyper nationalism or fake nationalism, I don't describe. See, when he takes on the British establishment and when he take on those American people who are anti-India, he is passion and patriotism personified. I quite like the guy. I quite like the guy. And the guy truly believes in karmanne vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. He perhaps he knew from day one that he will lose. He would be a fool if he did not believe in that. But his objective is, see, he wants to make a statement that yes, there is a person who can be anti-establishment in a respectful manner. Number one. Number two, he wants to carve a niche for himself. See, if he remains in Congress, Congress is not going to come to power for 20 years. Even if BJP loses power, Congress is not going to come. You know, the single largest opposition party will come. Shashi Tharoor wants to carve a place for himself in the history of India.
I
That was
think,
his mission.
yeah, I think what the way you have described it looks like he has partly succeeded already, because this
Yes.
was a very different kind of a race. And you look at Congress, many important leaders are no more a part of the Congress. So if you try to see who can contest for this presidential race, then Ashok Gehlot debacle in terms of this race also we saw. So there are hardly any people who would come to your mind in terms of this kind of a race. And he did create people's interest towards Congress. At least we are also talking about Congress. But let me bring to your attention the comment by Rahul Gandhi during his Bharat Jodo Yatra. So in response to one question, he said, "Ask." I cannot comment Congress president's role. That is for Mr. Khadge to comment on. The president will decide what my role is and where I will be deployed. Ask Khadge ji, Sonia ji. And this sounds like a very innocent or humble way of putting. But the only thing is, Sudhir ji, he said it at the time when the result was not declared. So either he's speaking on his hunch or there was some inside information he had.
I mean, you can't blame Rahul Gandhi for committing faux pas. I mean, come on now. Everybody knows that everything is forgiven in respect of Rahul Gandhi ji. See, it's okay. See, the man is trying. The man is trying, and he is sporting a beard which has completely gone grey. So we must appreciate Rahulji is trying. He's a great trier. So sometimes he may bumble along, but that's okay. He's from the most respected clan of In fact, his grandfather got us independence. His father got us computers. So he can say anything. So normally I whatever he says, I accept it as a prasadam. Okay.
I don't know how to accept what you are saying, but do you see the presence of Mallikarjun Kharge as Congress president a continuation of Gandhi control or hold on Congress, with him being a kind of a shadow president, or you think he'll use his own, if I was to say, his own mind, or he'll be his own man, as they say?
अशोक जी, कुर्सी जो है ना वो आपको क्या क्या कर दे. Do you recall somebody called Sitaram Kesari?
Yes.
Sitaram Kesari ji of blessed memory, Om Shanti. Sitaram Kesari ji was a quintessential treasurer of Congress party, and he was pitchforked to the position of Congress president. The moment he became Congress president, he became ambitious. Mallikarjun Kharge is an eight-time MLA. The only election he lost is last time when he lost the seat from Karnataka. I think Gulbarga seat he lost. I don't remember. Perhaps it is Gulbarga. Otherwise, he has won every single election. and he lost the race to the chief ministership. Very few people know things which the Hindi medium journalists know, and they sit in the press club. See, all these journalists who operate from the lobby of Meridian and Hyatt Regency, they are not foot soldier of journalism. A journalist told me, and he has been covering Congress for 40 years, 40, that Mallikarjun Kharge has an extremely short temper. Ashokji, your viewers may not have known him. He is very subservient before the Gandhis. Otherwise, he has a very short temper, and he can get very angry at the drop of the hat. Why was he subservient towards Gandhis? See, he has his own base. Eight-time MLA must, like Ashok Gehlot, does not need Rahul Gandhi to win elections. You will agree with me. Or Sonia
Absolutely.
Gandhi. He's a leader in his own right. He's a great leader. Let me say, when you talk of the Lilliputs of Congress, he's a great leader. Mallikarjun Kharge would make a mark, try to make a mark of his own. And I personally think, given his age, stature, he will listen to Sonia Gandhi. 100%. I have no doubt about it. Because Sonia ji is somebody who treats people with respect. She will say Mallikarjun ji, Khadge ji. Rahul Gandhi is somebody who will in public call Jairam. He will not call Jairam Ramesh ji.
Mhm.
Jairam Ramesh will call him Rahul ji. And he will call him Jairam. But if he calls Khadge Khadge and Khadge is a president, Khadge will ensure that he revolts. And I am making this prediction. No, so Gandhis have to give respect to Khadgeji. He's not a pushover. He's never a pushover. See, he has made such useless remarks in the past, and he has stood firm. He's never apologized. Recently, he made a remark.
Yeah.
अगर इसमें पता नहीं बकरीद में बचेंगे
Ah,
तो रमजान में नाचेंगे, रमजान नहीं, बकरीद में बचेंगे तो
Moram. Moram.
मोहर्रम में नाचेंगे. Has he see there was an outrage in India? What is he saying? He made that remark about about a dog remark. He's a dogged guy. So i- if I were an advisor to the high command, because high command is Gandhi family, I will tell them to follow what Sonia ji does. Give respect to people at least. She has learned late in life, at least to give respect to people with grey hair. And Mallikarjun Kharge is a senior man. I think if they don't give him respect, if they treat him like a errand boy, he will revolt. But if they give him respect, Khadge ji, Mallikarjun ji, he will do their bidding. This is my sense.
So now, impact and implications of this new Congress president on broad Indian political scene. So a lot of people were saying that if Shashi ji comes, he's going to galvanize the party. He'll bring new ideas, thoughts, will restructure party. But with Kharge ji, how do you see? So that is within the Congress. But overall, the perception of Congress, by and large, by normal folks as well as by other political parties, will there be any difference?
Khadge ji is an old man. Recently, when he was requested by Sonia ji to reach Jaipur, during that Ashok Gehlot fiasco,
Yes.
he was in Gulbarga. He took a bus, or he took a cab, and then he took a hopping flight and he reached Jaipur. He got so tired that he immediately went to his friend's house and he slept there, and he allowed the other guy, Ajay Makhan, to meet with the legislature. And Ajay Makhan is a great guy. Whenever there is an opportunity and you want to grab calamity out of opportunity, send Ajay Makhan. So he bungled everything. Had Khadge gone himself, he would have ensured there was a modicum of decency in that all that happened. But he's old. I don't think he can reinvigorate Congress. What he can best do is, if he is given proper respect, he can allow the youngsters, he can carve out a fresh team, and they can do what they want to do. And But if Shashi Tharoor were president, he would have, for example, he had a manifesto. Shashi Tharoor had his own kind of a manifesto in which he said, I will form a shadow cabinet. Now, how many politicians in India know what is a shadow cabinet? Even in BJP, it was Advani and Vajpayee, that ilk, learned people, no? Of course, Modi. These guys know what is a shadow cabinet. That for a minister of trade and commerce, there will be a congressman who will be shadowing that trade and commerce guy. For defense minister, somebody will be specializing. So Shashi Tharoor had brilliant ideas. That is number one. Number two, Shashi Tharoor had a agenda which is not competing with Narendra Modi on nationalism and Hinduism. So if Shashi Tharoor were there, I thought that Congress would have been able to better their position to maybe 60 seats, 70 seats, 80 seats, 100 seats. You never know. Because, he could have then raised the point of how middle class is being neglected by Modi. These are narratives he can build around. And uh, how there is a talent deficit or what have you. But I don't feel Khadgeji will be able to influence much. He will be able to ensure continuity. And Shashi Tharoor would have brought in change. That is my take.
Yeah. So I know just now it's a minor thing, but in the election process from UP, the representative of Shashi Tharoor, Salman Soz, he has written a letter which says that there were malpractice and there were fraud in UP. This is, we are talking about Congress president's
Yes.
election, and
Yes,
he
yes.
says,
It is. It is. I saw it. I saw it.
so then he says that when our agents complain about voters' malpractice, supporters of the other side would come inside the polling booth and create a ruckus and start threatening our polling agents. So, no, that kind of takes away the shine of Congress taking the credit of being a very democratic party. So but then again, Soz as well as Shashi Tharoor says that Khargeji was not aware of it, that his supporters are acting in this way. What do you make out of it? And I think it's a dead issue now, but still.
I don't see any shine or
Hmm.
luster in this entire campaign. If there is any shine which has been pushed into this campaign, it is because of the brilliance of Shashi Tharoor. That he fought a valiant election, that he set out a narrative, that he talked about a shadow cabinet, that he talked about of nationalism not being bad, and then he talked about that Hindutva is something we should all be proud of. So, if Shashi Tharoor had not ran this campaign, this would have been a useless campaign. Shashi Tharoor brought some luster to it,
Let
but
me.
otherwise, I don't see any shine in this campaign. This is a sham campaign.
So let me
Lock,
also.
stock, and
Yeah.
barrel.
So
Sonia
let
Gandhi,
me.
Priyanka Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi were supporting Khadge. They were not neutral. But my point is, if you want to support him, support openly. Why support him from backhand? From a back channel? That's unfair.
That's what Shashi Tharoor also tried to say several several times in different words of typical Tharoor style. But
He's a diplomat.
in the before the beginning of the match, when the names were announced, Khadgeji asked Shashi Tharoor to sit down in his favor so that Congress gets anonymously elected president. To which Tharoor didn't agree. Um, do you think that would have been the right thing for Tharoor to do?
No, no,
Knowing what a common, like even sitting in New York, whosoever I talk to, everybody says that oh, Kharge is going to win because Gandhi family is supporting him. Now I don't know how we get that intuitive kind of feeling because there is no evidence that is telling us, but we just feel that way. So if people sitting here are feeling that way, Tharoor must have also known.
see, Shashi Tharoor is always about his growth as a person, as a leader, also about his legacy. Whatever we all want to leave some legacy. So suppose he had compromised and he had not run for this election, he would have been a forgotten figure. But now people will remember. After all, why do people remember Jitendra Prasad, father of Jitendra Prasad? He not only got about 100 seats, he almost, the poor guy was heckled and you know thrashed. At least mentally he was trolled, but still people remember Jitendra Prasad ran a campaign against Sonia Gandhi. Okay, So
Yeah. So,
अभिमन्यु अभिमन्यु did not win the war, लेकिन उसने भेदा ना बेचारा, he was a,
so
so
Sudhir,
I
just
think
one, yeah, sir, one last minute, and that is, if Khargeji calls you and seek your advice, Sudhir, tell me, what is the first thing that I should do as president of the Congress? What would you tell him?
I will tell Khadgeji that around 2 years ago, there was a campaign that he has amassed property which is disproportionate to his asset. Now that he is Congress president, he becomes a hot commodity. He should lie low. If he lies low, he has two benefits. One benefit is he will not anger the Yuvraj. Okay, that is number one. And in any case, Mrs. Gandhi is giving him all respect. She is giving him all respect. She is not demeaning him. Secondly, now that he is president, he must know, he must know, 8-time MLA and starting from poorest of poor family to have amassed so much of wealth. My personal, because he's 80 year of age, I like all old people. I want them to retire gracefully and lead a peaceful life. That will be my advice to him. If I were to give him
So
advice
I will leave
in
it.
person,
Yeah, I will leave it at that. And when you gave this advice, I kind of felt that you are raising some flags for ED rather than giving advice to him. So you are not fair for Mr. Kharge is my conclusion. But we leave it
Mr.
at that. You may
Mr.
decide.
Khadge is a low hanging fruit. He's a low hanging fruit for
Yeah.
me.
So thank you very much. Such fun as well as fruitful conversation, Sudhirji. So I appreciate
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good
So
day, sir.
thanking
Good day.
Dr. Sudhir Bisht joining us from New Delhi, talking about impact and implications of new Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. And this is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.